Hey, how you doing? It's James here with another video for you. This one's going to be a little bit weird, and again, it's going to be based upon the principles that I outline in the New Influence report. You can still download a copy for free, no email address required at the bottom of the blog there. I was looking at this slightly weird world of internet marketing and online money making, and how often the word ninja is used. It's everywhere, isn't it? Every new marketer, every famous marketing guru tends to use the word ninja in some context at some point in their career. Whether it be the latest technique that's out about how to make money with, I don't know, pay-per-click advertising or search engine optimization or some particular copywriting technique. If you want that to sort of be appear more desirable, put the word ninja on the end of whatever the technique is and people will want it more. It tends to be the way it's done, right? Well, here's the thing. I want to show you something in just a little while. And by the way, you think about it. When we think of the word ninja, what do we attach to that? Well, we think of, we think of some guy who's brilliant at martial arts and sneaks around in the dark, dressed in black. Of course, you've got to wear black if you're a ninja, complete with the mask, And we think of something that's a little bit black hat, a little bit sneaky, a little bit tricky, and kind of super deadly, right? I mean, that's fair enough. That's kind of our translation of that word. Internally we think of all those things. Let me show you something. Now, for all my Japanese friends, I'm probably going to completely upset you because I'll get a load of this, my pronunciation wrong, so forgive me. This is called, and I'll probably get some of these words wrong, like I say, but this is basically called a kanji. And in Japan, they have, obviously, their alphabet. They also have these other characters that they can write. God, this is a heavy beast. I've had this up in my house for a while, and I've forgotten that it weighed half a ton. They have these other characters called kanji, and these are used to convey slightly more complex concepts and thoughts, okay? This kanji is made up of two particular characters. This one here, which basically means heart, this here. And this one here, which basically means blade or knife or dagger, mainly blade. And the name of this kanji is shinobi. Sorry, not the name of it. The name of this character is nin. Okay, it's pronounced shinobi. Okay, you see where this is going, right? Now, this is commonly, if you write the word ninja, you would use this character. Okay, because this is the nin part of ninja. Okay, now the way it's been translated over years and years, basically incorrectly, is that, if you hide your true feelings with a blade, okay, so you're a little bit sneaky, you resolve yourself, it's where the reputation for them being assassins and deadly and all this kind of thing has come from, is because we look at the blade over the heart has been literally translated as you hide your feelings, you hide your heart, because you have this resolve that involves a dagger, basically, okay? And it's completely incorrect, okay? To cut a long story short, it's not the best translation of this character, okay? So hold that in mind for a second, and I'll quickly tell you a story about feudal Japan. 1,000 years ago in Japan, basically the country was split up into little baronies, little areas where you could farm rice, and, that little area was run by a lord or a daimyo, I believe is the name. This guy, this baron, this lord that ran that little bit of land. The rest of the country was basically incredibly steep mountains. You couldn't do much with that. You couldn't even farm goats on that, so forget it. Let's just make rice. So the lord had lots of peasants living on his land. And by the way, a peasant in feudal Japan, peasant life was pretty crap, okay? It meant farming rice all your life and then dying in your mid-30s probably, so not a great way to hack out a living. And then what the lord had was this kind of upper classes, the samurai class, also kind of policed the land as well a little bit. Now here's the thing, and this kind of harkens back to the potential movement, the human potential movement. This was it 1,000 years ago in Japan, right? Which is, if you're a family living in feudal Japan, dying in your mid-30s from farming rice your whole life and just not really having much else going on, you'd go, screw this, I'm out of here. And that's what a lot of the families did. They got out of there because they wanted to hack out a life on their terms. They wanted to live life on their terms. They knew there was more to life than just farming rice and dying. So Many of these families scarpered. They got out of there. They went up into these very horrendous, very harsh mountainous regions to try and hack out a living. And families would get together and form clans because strength in numbers, right? Problem was, the Lord was left with nobody to farm and create goods for his little area of land. So where's the rice? Rice was currency, don't forget. So what happened is that the Lord would send the samurai class up into the mountains to get those peasants back down here. Get them back down here farming, okay? So that's what he did. He sent the samurai up there. Now, bear something in mind. These samurai had superior armor, superior training, superior weaponry. They were tough, all right? So when these guys went up into the mountains, basically they got their intention. They got these peasants back down here working the land. Except, over time, these families learnt ways to defend themselves and in fact prevail against an enemy, like I say, with superior armor, weaponry, training. Okay, they were better fighters in effect, and yet these families learnt ways to persevere and continue going, to keep going in spite of the odds, to keep living the life that they really, really wanted to live. Now, down through the years, obviously the kind of the blunt translation of, you know, a little bit tricky, deadly assassin and all this kind of thing has been the one we've been left with. When in actual fact, the real accurate translation of ninja is a person of perseverance. Let me just show you again. This is nin, don't forget. Okay, the nin part of ninja. It means perseverance. The accurate translation is perseverance. So a ninja, the ja means person of, person of perseverance. Because these were a people that, in spite of the odds, wanted to live the life that they felt they deserved and could get for themselves. And I actually thought about it. That's kind of a little bit like you and me, isn't it? It's a little bit like us, in as much as that, you know, as entrepreneurs, as business owners, as online business owners, we want to hack out the life that we want to hack out, don't we? We want to hack out the business that we want. We want to create wealth on our terms. We don't want somebody else telling. We don't want a boss. We don't want to be in employment. We want to run our businesses and create the life that we really want. We want to do it on our terms without somebody else dictating how we do that. And all power to that. And I just want you to remember, the next time you think about that resolve you have, I want you to really remember the story of the ninja. Because that story is about a group of people who persevered, who kept going. And that's why next time you see the word ninja, I want you to think it's a person of perseverance. It's not just some sneaky assassin. It's a person of perseverance. And here's another cool thing. This is Samyaku. It's a newsletter. Okay, it's only about, gosh knows, not many pages. Like 10 pages in there. It's even printed in red so that you can't photocopy it. You know what's cool? This is the direct transmission, the densho of Soki Hatsumi Masaki. Now, Hatsumi is the 34th Grand Master of the Togakuri-Ryu tradition of ninjutsu that goes back 1,000 years, back to the story I just told you. And he's still alive, this guy. In fact, let me show you a quick picture of him. There he is. Now, the only way you can get this newsletter, it's 10 pages. The only way you can get this newsletter that just contains killer stuff, literally, is if you've bothered to learn this stuff. I don't just mean the history, I mean the physical stuff. If you learn ninjutsu, then you get to be able to get your hands on this. This was written quite a while ago. And, you know, I've managed to collect a great deal of those because they're absolute genius in there. Here's the next cool thing. The Hatsumi actually painted this kanji here. And it's often said that when Hatsumi paints a kanji, he puts a lot of intention into it, like weird stuff, energy stuff. And I want you to have some of that. If anything that I've told you about the story of the ninja has touched a vibe in you, I want you to have that intention and be a person of perseverance in your business building, in your entrepreneurship. So it's powerful stuff, and I want you to be a real ninja. Now, in the next video, I'm going to tell you what I've been doing here and how it relates to new influence. So stay with me, and I'll speak to you on the next video.